I worked for Phoenix Fire Department down in Arizona. And I had a friend who was the only bagpiper in the Phoenix Fire Department. He's playing all the funerals and events. And he's like, man, if I could help you learn the bagpipes, would you help me do some of these gigs? And I worked there for about 3 years, learned how to play the bagpipes while down there. And I came up to Seattle, returning home to be a firefighter here. In 1995, Seattle Fire Department lost 4 members in the Paying warehouse fire. And the Vancouver Police Pipes and Drums came down from Vancouver, Canada, and played the funerals for those guys. And that meant a lot to everyone in the Seattle Fire Department. Forever indebted to Vancouver Police for doing that for us. I felt I had a skill that I could bring to Seattle Fire Department, and that we could have enough people that could learn this instrument to where we could honor our own fallen in the future. 2004 is when we officially kicked it off, but in 2003 is when it really started.
When the opportunity came, I jumped on it. Not being musically gifted, I gravitated towards the drums. One note, repeat as necessary.
I had actually played the drums as a kid and was very interested in the drum part of it, also the technical drumming. The drummers, they have 3 different instruments that we work off of. The side drum is like the snare drum, and it's very loud. It's like a 22 going off when you're hitting them. And the Scottish drumming is very technical, which is what makes it interesting for people.
And I was a tenor drummer to start with, but tenor drummer is the one that spins the sticks, more visual than audible.
Tenor drummers are like a tom-tom, and they've got a softer mallet. And then the bass drum, of course, is the big bass drum. That's the one where you got to be nice and strong to haul that one around.
After our bass drummer, original bass drummer, hurt his back and couldn't do it anymore, I moved over to the bass. I've been doing that ever since.
I've been playing for 35, 36 years now. I'm not a firefighter. I thought I was just going to teach them bagpipes, and I've gotten drawn into this world.
That's what brings out some of the expression there, right?
I almost never play at those events because I'm more useful in the background, helping other people make sure their instruments are up to snuff. I call it Scottish soul music. It gets you right in your heart. There's something about the frequencies. And so we've got the chanter where we play our melody, and the 3 pipes that stick up over the shoulder are called drones. And they just hum in the background constantly. And so there's literally this om. And then the frequencies of the chanter interact with that, and some of them blend and some of them clash, and that's kind of the unique sound of the bagpipe that sets up sort of an emotional response that we can't explain.
They often lift morale. I don't think you've met anyone who has seen them play or watched them march and they don't smile and feel a sense of pride.
We've had some really interesting gigs, like we got to play open for the Dropkick Murphys. We opened for Rod Stewart. We've played at the Mariners games. We do Torchlight Parade, St. Patrick's Day Parade. We do all the awards banquets for the Seattle Fire Department, recruit graduations, things like that. The reason we started the band is for funerals, memorials for police and firefighters. So back then we were one of the only fire department pipe bands in the Northwest. So we were traveling all over Washington State and even going out of state to play funerals for police and firefighters. Now there's lots of bands around.
You know, it's important to note that all of these individuals are firefighters first, and they chose to learn to play the bagpipes or the drums to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
It's an honor to be able to help the firefighters learn this skill so that they can honor fallen brothers and sisters. And, you know, that's like a calling way beyond anything that I thought I was ever going to be involved in.
The parades and the graduations, that's fun, and it's keeps us in practice. But you know, primarily we're for funerals and memorials.
It was the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced the comrades' passing.
It does seem to mean a lot to the families, and that's why we do it, for the surviving members, surviving friends.
I think we're down at the Coma Dome, and we were playing Amazing Grace, and I made the mistake of making eye contact with one of the family members, and both of us. I'm ready to tear up right now just talking about it. It is heartbreaking, see those young families, and and listen to the stories and hear the sacrifices that people are making every day for society, and the fact that we can just make that day maybe just a little bit better and honor that sacrifice makes everything worthwhile.
Watch City Stream Tuesday nights at 7 on the Seattle Channel, or find us anytime online at seattlechannel.org.